Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am doing the end of year book tag. Now I have noticed that there are a couple different end of year book tags, one of which is more so like encapsulating your entire reading year with some of your favorites, favorite characters, favorite author, favorite new book, all those fun things that I think I will do next month when I am closer to knowing all of my reads for the year and I can adequately summarize my reading year. But today, this tag is more about reflecting on my reading to date and I guess kind of more so like reading goals for the last couple months of the year and then reading goals leading into the next year. Question number 1, are there any books you started this year that you still need to finish? Yes, and one of which is The Once and Future Witches, and I have talked about this book. I think the author is, I'll pop it up on the screen, Alex Harrow, I want to say. I have talked about this book on my channel before. I started this book beginning of October, I think, maybe even end of September, and I really, really like it. But I know I've said this a few times recently, I've just been feeling super blah in my reading, and I don't understand why I don't want to just like sit down and pick up the book and read it because I'm genuinely enjoying it, but I'm still halfway through. So that is definitely one that I would really like to finish this year. Similarly, I have Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Again, I started this, I have it as an ebook, and I was really enjoying it. Like, there's no reason for me to not want to sit down and read it. I just haven't. So we'll see. Hopefully I can also finish that one. There are quite a few other books that I have started and that technically I'm in the middle of, but they're not as like pressing. These are the two that I'm like, I want to finish them. Let's finish them. Question 2, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I am not really one that's big on seasonal reads. I'm much more of a mood reader. I will read summer reads in winter, and I don't know. I don't really read seasonally. So technically no, although The Once and Future Witches fits the fall theme, fall vibe. So I guess I can count that for this one as well. Question 3, is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Not that I'm still waiting for, but it is a new-ish release. Let's see, when did it come out? Okay, so this just came out in August, end of August, and I just got my copy, and that is the book that I picked for my book club this month, and that is By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. I'm so excited for this one. I know I talked about it more in my last video for my November TBR. I really enjoy her writing style from what I've read of her so far, and this book, again, I'm only 2 chapters in, so my summary of it will change, no doubt, as I finish it, but it's about 2 women, one woman in present time and one woman in the 1500s, I want to say. And they are both grappling with somewhat the same things. Emilia in the 1500s is faced with the reality that as a woman, she's not really allowed to use her voice. So she ends up writing some plays, basically as a ghostwriter for one William Shakespeare. And then in the modern timeline, there is Melina, who is facing somewhat similar things. In college, she had a professor who kind of shut down a lot of her work, and now she has written a play based on the life of Emilia from the 1500s, but she's having trouble getting her foot in the door with this play. And her best friend, and this is not a spoiler as it is in the book description, her best friend ends up submitting her play under a male pseudonym. So it's 2 timelines, but they're both kind of dealing with similar things. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope it lives up to the hype because I have high expectations. Question 4, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? The first one is Frankenstein, which is one of the books on my 40 before 40 list. It'll be my first official read from that list, so I'm excited about that. The second one is Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty. I am so excited to jump into this. Her characters are always so impeccably written with so much depth, and I love, she usually has like multiple points of view, and I really admire that in a writer, and I just think it's so cool how she writes her characters, so I'm really excited for that one. And the third book is The 12-Week Year for Writers. I've heard about the 12-week year, and basically as a way to break down goals into a 3-month period instead of saying my goals for the next year, like breaking it down to smaller chunks so that you're having 3-month goals. And this one is specifically for writers. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm hoping that it has a lot of specific tips and ideas and ways of thinking about writing goals to help me set my goals and intentions for 2025. Question 5, is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? So I know I just talked about this, but I do have really high hopes for By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. Part of the problem when you have really high hopes for a book is that it could go either way. So I'm trying to kind of temper it and not be too excited because then I don't want to be disappointed if it's not. I feel like that could go either way. Same for Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty. I do think that I'm gonna like Frankenstein. I don't know if it'll be a top read for the year, but also I don't know. We'll see. And since I'm a mood reader, who knows what else I might pick up in the last, what are we at, 6 weeks of the year? That's crazy. Maybe 7. We're getting down to the end though. Who knows what I will pick up on a whim that also could end up being a favorite. So that'll be fun to see. Question 6. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? Yes, I have. Not like a ton of super specific plans yet, but I've just started thinking about what I would like my reading goals to look like, what I would like my booktube goals to look like, things like that. At this point, I'm definitely planning on lowering my Goodreads reading goal. The last several years, maybe since 2016, I can't remember how long I've been on Goodreads, maybe not quite that long. The last several years, my goal has been 100 books, and I've always exceeded that. This year, I might make it, but it also wouldn't, I might be a little bit under. And usually I would be so sad and trying to cram some books in because I have to meet my goal. And this year I'm kind of okay with it because it is what it is and it's just a fun goal. It doesn't need to be stressful. So we'll see if I end up making that. But I think I'm just in a season that is a little bit slower and I'm happy with that season for now. So I'm trying to decide if next year I want to do 90 books or maybe even 80. I'm still trying to decide. I love setting my Goodreads goal. Literally, that is one of the first things I do in the morning on January 1st is get on my phone and set my Goodreads goal because it's just so fun. I know I want to start reading Les Miserables in January, which is another book on my 40 before 40 list. And I'm hoping to start reading more books written by booktubers, author-tubers, and also reading more books recommended by booktubers. So we'll see. I definitely want my reading to still be fun and mood based. So those are some of the things I'm trying to think through. I guess like as far as like my booktube, do I want to do like one video maybe in March where I've read 2 or 3 books by author tubers, or do I want it to be like a recurring monthly video? I don't know. And again, I'm such a mood reader and I don't like, if I have to stick to certain schedules, which I know it's my channel, I don't, but also if I set a schedule, I would like to do my best to stick with it. So I'm trying to decide what I want that to look like and how to bring in all of these things that I think would just be fun to include on my channel. And other than that, I plan to just continue to go with the flow and read what sounds fun in the moment and see where my reading takes me. I feel like my reading tastes have changed a little bit more this year. Well, I don't know, maybe that's not true. I kind of go through spells because I feel like the last couple years I read a lot of thrillers. This year I feel like I've read more romance, even though I've enjoyed both genres for a while. So I'm curious to see if that kind of continues to change, if a new genre comes in that I start really enjoying and reading a lot of, or how things end up going. I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for all the fun books yet to be discovered. I would love to hear from you in the comments your answer to any of these questions. What are some outstanding books that you would like to finish this year? What do you think might be a surprise 5-star read for the end of this year? Or any other question that sparked your interest. And until next time, happy reading.